steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
You're spending $300 a month. Binge drinking is the most common form of excessive drinking, which costs the United States more than $191 billion each year. By drinking less, you will save $300 a month. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of your liberty and pursuit of your justice for those that have been injured. My name is Seth Morris, attorney with Liberty Law Group. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, call 877-42-LIBERTY. Our relentless trial attorneys are committed to the highest quality legal representation. At Liberty Law Group, we will fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Again, that's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Mike Minner. What's up, bro?
When you look at Dylan, you're looking at quarterbacks that kind of come around once every 20 years. And this is a kid I'm looking at, I don't know how old he is, 17, 18 years old. And he is already directing things that 17, 18-year-old kids should not even know. Changing the line protection. Okay, guys, I don't know where we've been 2 weeks of practice. Come on, man. Well, we got guys in the National Football League that can't do that.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Join us each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon for Youth Football 101 with Tank Perry of the Nebraska Red Wolves of 7-on-7 football. The future of the sport depends on the foundation set at a young age. Hear those stories and more each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker in one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Not only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weeknights. Once again, Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. As soon as 6 o'clock hits, we just wrapped up with We Talk Back with Eric Strickland, Lester Johnson. You can always go back on YouTube to watch that one. But in the meantime, we got the Don't Punt Hour with the host, as always, DeMornay Pierson-El. How's it going on this Thursday night, man?
It's going good. Enjoying it. Not doing too bad.
Yeah, absolutely. The weather's been nice. Looks like we finally got out of the rain that's just been nonstop throughout the entire weekend. But let's just go ahead and dive right into it, because we only got a few more NBA games left here in the first round. We got one with the Indiana Pacers, which if you're the Bucks, you're sweating this one out right now. It's currently 56-68, the third quarter, about 9 minutes left to play. And again, Pacers leading that one 68-56. The other series that's been back and forth, Knicks 76ers. That one's later today at 8. And then, of course, you got the Cavaliers and Magic. Cleveland leading that one 3-2. Let's just first dive into this Pacers-Bucks series. Obviously, Pascal Siakam, he's been incredibly impressive. I'll take a quick peek at the box score right now just to see where he's at. See Tyrese Halliburton, 15, and then Pascal Siakam with about 11 points, 5 rebounds as it sits right now. Each guy with about 20 minutes in play. the Bucks got a shot here. Is this thing going to be Pacers moving on to the next round? Still no Giannis.
I think Pacers moving on. It's gotten as ugly as it can get, and that's the type of game that the Pacers, would hope for. I think things play into their favor.
Yeah, absolutely. The most disappointing thing about me is I would think we got to spend time on it. With Damian Lillard making the big move over to Milwaukee, a lot of people are expecting that to be the additional key player to push him over the edge. Now they're without Giannis. That's obviously brutal. It kind of breaks the whole.
It's Doc's fault. I'm not putting it on Dame. It's Doc.
I love Dame, but we got to be real. I was talking about Jamal Murray, and we have to talk about this as well, being one of the greatest playoff risers we've ever seen. And the numbers back, it's on. Jamal Murray is the greatest playoff quote unquote riser we've ever seen. There is no debate. Jamal Murray is incredible. He goes from a fringe all-star caliber player to the best guard in the NBA in the playoffs.
The man has been hurt for how many years? And 2 good years, and he's the best we've ever seen. Like, can you give it some time before you just start the best? Like, my God, is he having a dominant rising right now? Yes. But the best? He's not. His work of art is not done yet. So that's not to say that to put that on him right then and now. Is he doing great? Yeah, he is. Is he, starting as fast and doing, a lot better than what, people may think of and whatnot? Yes. But the best right now, like, he hasn't even gone to 11 straight playoffs. Like, what are we talking about?
I'm saying the best playoff riser. When you compare his numbers to the regular season.
How many times he's been in playoffs? How many years?
I think he's been at least 4 years. 4 years in the playoffs.
I would say 3 at most. He was hurt for a majority of his career.
He had and won playoffs. Yeah, he was hurt for a lot, but I'm just saying you can't deny this guy when he hits the playoffs is completely different than the regular season version of Jamal Murray.
The best, like you can't just throw that around. Like
in terms, absolutely, I can't. In terms of the best being, here's your regular season stats, then here's your playoff stats. Some guys shrink. Shout out James Harden, another great disappearing act of the biggest moment last night. Some guys rise up to the moment. Playoff Rondo, that was real because his numbers backed it up. Playoff Rondo was different. Jamal Murray is that guy in terms of guards right now in the league. Who knows what the future looks like?
I'm not saying he's not. I'm just still his work of art is still being worked on, and I'm just not going to give him the best. Is he? Has it been dominant and something to talk about? Yes, absolutely. But the best right now, like you don't. He could be trash after this year, and then he had a good 2 year, 3 year run or whatever, and that's it. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying, and I mean it's fair. He could have some bad runs, but as it sits right now, just the difference between him in the regular season to him in the playoffs is the biggest jump we've probably seen since I've been alive. At the very least, you can probably go back in time and try to dig some old names up, but there's not a guy out there that looks like a completely different player the way Jamal Murray does. I mean, the Lakers fans are probably still having nightmares. You're looking at me funny, and it makes me wonder if you're watching Jamal Murray enough because this guy's game is so much better in the playoffs.
You're saying that, but I mean, when LeBron was with Miami, when he was with Cleveland that second time, like he looked like a different person. So to say that we haven't seen it, like I don't think that's the right wording. Like you have some of these superstars that that went off when KD was with the Warriors. He was a different animal, in the playoffs. So Sean Livingston, when he was with the Warriors and going off from his regular season to his playoff stuff, he was a completely different person. So to say that it's something that we haven't seen before, I'm not quite there. I'll say, like I said, has it been dominant and something to watch and something to continue to watch? Yes, but it's not, oh my God, I've never seen this before.
All right, we're gonna have to keep watching these games. Jamal Murray, I'm telling you, man. There is no if you want to call it cap, if you want to go with the modern day terms, there's no lies in what I'm speaking. Jamal Murray.
I'm not saying it's a lie. That you like. Maybe in your lifetime, maybe. So, you did say that. So I might have to give you that one. So I'm not saying you're wrong, but I mean, there's been other people that we've seen hit the playoffs, and that's been different. Like, not to compare him to LeBron or whatnot, but LeBron went to 11 straight finals. You have to be different to do that, to go. And has anybody else, other than maybe Bill Russell or a few gone to 11 straight? That's different. That's something, you haven't seen. So not to take anything away from him or whatnot, what he's doing is awesome and great. But the best, I'm not sticking that term on him lightly.
Well, let me elaborate on playoff riser. All right, LeBron James, it's tough to be the best in terms of playoff quote unquote risers because you're averaging 27, 9, and 9 heading into the playoffs regardless. So to make another astronomical jump in terms of efficiency, rebounds, assists, and points, there's not a lot of wiggle room left unless you're about to drop 40 every night on 20 rebounds, 10, 15 assists. A guy like Jamal Murray, who is this kind of fringe all-star, has yet to be an all-star.
Which is crazy.
And it's not, though, because you look at the regular season, it's actually kind of fair. He's not that guy in the regular season. His stats...
Does he have to be?
What's that?
Does he have to be?
Well, that's where you get into the narratives. I'd put him in there because I see a cold-blooded killer, especially if I'm a Lakers fan. I'm terrified of that man. I mean, he's a champion.
Who picks the All-Star? Is this the what we were talking about?
Yeah, that's the media. You guys who are good at narratives.
And I mean, we know what it's going to be with that. So I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Okay, so tell me this then. Since we're on the guards, we're on the NBA already. If Jamal Murray isn't that guy, give me the best guards in the league right now.
You're changing my word. I didn't say he's not that guy. I didn't say that. You're saying, oh, it's the best ever. Like, I'm not saying he's the best ever.
Best ever playoff riser. That's what I'm saying. Playoff riser, key term there. Because again, I don't expect LeBron James to go from 27 to be the best, make that jump between regular season and playoffs. The dude's going to have to drop 40. I mean, that's just not a fair metric, but it's good for guys like James Harden, those guards in particular.
And the teams that he's on, other than maybe the team that Jamal Murray is on, are still better than the teams that LeBron has been on outside of probably Miami.
Okay, then explain James Harden's shortcomings over and over and over again. That's a guy who has no excuses.
After he got the 6th man of the year and got that bag, he turned into what he wanted to be in. Like, it's an offensive league. It's exciting. That was his game. Like, he's on his last leg, probably on his way out of the league.
No. Okay. Fair enough. I think we can agree on James Harden. That's one guy that we agree on for the most part.
Sure.
I can't hate him because he's making money doing what he's doing. I'll give him that much. His agent is incredible at what he does because he can just keep getting that guy big bag after big bag, regardless of how he left the last team. The Rockets always stand out as that big example. The way he left the Rockets, it's incredible that the GM wanted to kind of relink with James Harden. But nonetheless, let's go through the guards here in the current NBA playoffs right now. And if Jamal Murray isn't your number one guard, who is the best guard to you right now in these NBA playoffs?
I mean, Shy and them, they swept their people. So I mean, their team is, not at, would you quote? I mean, they are the number one seed. So I mean, you could throw Shy in there. It's tough to say because of those 3 games, they were down by 20 points, and Jamal was a lot, a part of that. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying, who's been playing better. He's had, bigger moments so far this year, maybe outside of Shy and probably Ant. But I mean, both of those dudes still knocked off, quality opponents. So it's a 3-way tie to say, now who's had, bigger, more moments and stuff. I would go with
Jamal Murray. Yeah.
I would go with Murray just because I mean, two game winners against LeBron. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think both of them were over the 7-footer AD as well. Second one might have been over LeBron, but yeah, nonetheless, Jamal Murray. But he does that. That's what I'm saying. This is like 2 years in a row now, where it's just like watching Jamal Murray. Even in that, that bubble year, you were kind of not necessarily expecting that. But man, he's just been on an absolute tear when he gets to the playoffs. We'll see.
He's exactly what the team needs. Like, if he was doing that all year and everything like that, he would be in the same talks as Joker with MVP and whatnot and everything like that. So I mean, he has a role and he does it to what it's supposed to be. So like I said, he's not playing bad or anything like that. Like, when they need it in crunch time and whatnot, he enters, a different mode.
Yeah. He's one of the best at it. I know you hate that word, the term the best, but man, we'll
how you go the best and how I do the best is just different. I'm not saying he's really, really good. Now the best, I don't know.
Again, I gotta keep elaborating. Not the best guard, but in terms of guys whose stats.
He's still early in his career. He has one ring, no All-Stars, no MVPs, no dunk contest, no 3-point contest,
or no twice, 2 rings, going for 3,
whatever. So I mean, it's not, it's his turn. There, he's on his run. So I'm not just gonna crown him the best right now just because he's just been consistent, or the last past couple of years, he's playing, his numbers are better in the playoffs than the regular season. If it is that, then why aren't you doing that in the regular season?
Well, to me, it's like, why would you do it in the regular season if you're got the second best record? It's just that's a team that this is a whole nother argument in itself, but it's great when you don't build those teams like some of those, James Harden on the Rockets, Russell Westbrook when it was just him on the Thunder for that triple-double MVP. Nothing wrong with those years.
Or when he was in Washington.
Yeah, nothing wrong with those years. Like, I don't blame those guys for putting up those crazy numbers, but it's also just incredibly tough to do that all season long, and it's not necessarily indicative of a good winning record. Like, it's just a lot. One guy has to carry the team every single night.
They also were the only person, star to be on the team. Exactly. So, again, like I said, he has help. He has a good supporting cast off the bench, and at least 3 other dudes in the starting 5. So I mean, he doesn't carry necessarily the load as much. Now you take Joker out of that, we don't know what that team looks like.
Yeah, I mean, he had some stretches there where he played pretty well, but we haven't seen. No, you're right, like not in this fashion at this high stakes. It would be curious, but that team's just so well built, and I think that's a big part of why the regular season numbers don't splash out, but the efficiency is what's crazy. I mean, he does take a massive uptick in terms of his shot selection, or not even shot selection. The shot selection gets tougher, but the efficiency goes up. And that's why I keep using the terms. In terms of playoff risers, that guy doesn't shrink from the moment. As much as I love Damian Lillard, he's been one of those guys that he's just not been able to rise to the occasion, whether it's with the Portland Trailblazers or this year with Milwaukee Bucks. He has a few good games, but the consistency is just so all over the place. Who are you, since we're on this, which guys in your past, since you're an NBA guy, that when it came to the playoffs were those real playoff quote unquote risers, guys that stepped up their game to a new level?
Allen Iverson, Shaq.
Yeah, Shaq.
Wherever Shaq went, he was getting a ring. LeBron, you can put Kobe in there, Paul Pierce.
Rajon Rondo doesn't get enough love, but he was that guy. That playoff Rondo, that wasn't just a joke. That was real. Playoff Rondo was insane.
A young Carmelo Anthony when he was in Denver and early on in New York. People forget, Melo was a problem. When he got to New York, he started fading a little bit on the defensive side. When he was in Denver, him and the Lakers were going at it. Tony Parker, but Ginobili, Tim Duncan, come on now.
I love Tony Parker. If I'm remembering, again, I'm only.
I would say more so Ginobili.
Yes, Ginobili. Yes.
Tony Parker. Ginobili was on another level.
Yeah, Tony Parker. If I remember correctly, he had some moments where he kind of pulled some disappearing acts. He wasn't never terrible, but in terms of the playoffs, I feel like he was actually even worse. And luckily, the team around him was good enough that it didn't really matter that much. But that's a guy I'm a little iffy on Tony Parker being one of the best quote unquote playoff risers, but. Yeah, I'm definitely there with Ginobili. That guy was a problem. Didn't matter if he was coming off the bench or starting. That guy was
he was a bucket. It didn't matter where at your court, his court, overseas, the Olympics. You was going to get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now I'm just reminiscing on the Spurs days with Kawhi Leonard. But as we're on the NBA here, let's go through a couple more series. Then we'll throw it to break, and then we'll switch over to some NFL talks. That's definitely where I want to go next.
Yeah. Come on, bring that. Yeah.
All right, so next series, we got the Knicks 76ers. This one's 8 p.m. today. Obviously, New York Knicks lead this one 3-2, but this one's in Philadelphia. You got two of the quote-unquote meanest, nastiest fan bases. It's an elimination type game. Jalen Brunson is supposedly becoming that guy for the New York Knicks, despite no Julius Randle. Kind of a limpy Joel Embiid. He doesn't look like his best version of himself. Tonight, New York Knicks, Philadelphia 76ers, 8 p.m. Central Time. Who do you got?
Knicks.
Knicks goes in and out.
They should. I mean, they should. I think they're the better team. Embiid is hurt. They might slip. They might get one or two, but I think the Knicks in it tonight.
How do you back out of this if you're the 76ers and you go out to the New York Knicks? You blow things up. You trade in Joel Embiid, maybe seeing what you can get for Tyrese Maxey. Well, I'd have to check if he's an unrestricted free agent. But
your team. You're one of the better teams in the East. You have pieces in set. I don't think it's trading Joel. Now it may be seeing who can restructure or trade some other pieces to bring, some other stars to kind of go off and get things, but I don't think you blow things up.
Yeah,
it'd be different if Boston don't get things done. Yeah, they're making some drastic changes. Period. They're too different. You know what I'm saying? Like the 76ers have their core. I think they're on the right track. They're playing well. It's just they're a few pieces away, which a couple teams in the East are Cleveland, the Magic. They're right in the race of things. I don't think if they blow everything up, I think they go right back to the bottom of the ladder, and now you got to rebuild everything when everything is established. You just got to build off of it and keep continuing things.
Yep, and I'm going through it right here as we're kind of breaking this down, especially with the 76ers. It's like everybody on their team. That 2024-25 season, everyone's going to be pretty much unrestricted free agents, from Tobias Harris, Buddy Hield, Beta. You got D'Anthony Melton, and the only guy they really got locked in there is Joel Embiid. So that's crazy. They're going to have that flexibility.
So and pick and get some things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the 76ers, that's just a team. Can't figure out what the life of me. They can't ever figure it out. It's kind of a bummer. I feel like a big part of it, too, is just Joel Embiid's health status. It's always been incredibly tough. He looks in this series. He doesn't look like himself, right? I'm not crazy for thinking that. Like, does not look like a good version of Joel Embiid. He looks like he's maybe 75, 80% there. Not in terms mentally, just physically. So I think I'm going to give it to the New York Knicks, too. But that does pose the question, how far can the Knicks keep this alive now? Because with the New York Knicks, you still got the Boston Celtics. The Heat said they got one. They shut that down real quick.
Say that again.
I said, I was like, Boston Celtics are still probably the scariest because the Heat got one on them. You're like, oh, here we go again. And then they blew them out of the water the next day and said, absolutely not. This is not going to be a repeat of last year. I still think it's the Celtics, like by far the scariest. But the Knicks, I am a little bit surprised they're able to kind of shock people. I thought the 76ers were going to be able to bully that team around, especially without Julius Randle.
Yeah, no. It's hard because as you said, Boston is in a league of their own. I think a healthy Jimmy Butler and the Knicks are, I would say, kind of neck and neck. Mm-hmm. Maybe I would give the edge to the Heat. Just because they've been there, they've conquered things, and they've went to the finals and whatnot. And then I would go Knicks, and then kind of it doesn't matter, anywhere after that. Everybody kind of falls in line. Orlando needs a few pieces. Chicago is Chicago. Like the Pacers are a good team. They're just they're not a strong playoff team. They just they got a good matchup. So they're the Knicks' future is I feel like is a lot brighter than the 76ers. You just never know, with, as you stated, with all the free agents and everything like that, of what their team is gonna look like, who wants to stay, who wants more money and whatnot. So they're not at the bottom, but it's just, it could go either way.
Yeah. I think the Knicks, on the bright side, I think they got an easy route here if they do want to eventually challenge the Boston Celtics, just for the sake that Pacers or Bucks. I will say, though, if the Bucks manage to stay alive, although it doesn't seem very likely with the score right now, and Giannis is back.
That's a problem.
That's a problem. And I think the Pacers should really be thinking, whoever they're praising, because the way Indiana plays basketball is conducive to here's the rim, try to go up Miles Turner, our rim protector, because we want to play up-tempo fast basketball. They will give you the lane as opposed to the three-point line. Thank Lord that Giannis Antetokounmpo isn't out there, because this is the last thing. Miles Turner would be fouled out so fast, not because he's a bad player, but that is just like the worst defensive strategy. So they wouldn't be giving that up, but they would have to play out of comfort. They wouldn't be able to do what they want to do. And as a result, I think the Bucks are just having a hard time. The main guy that could really exploit this Pacers defense is not out there. And Giannis Antetokounmpo might be one of the best players that could exploit that type of defense. So I'm going to guess the Pacers is going to close that one out. Then I think Knicks probably move on from there. And then you're looking at a 1-2 Celtics-Knicks series. And then it'll be, can the Boston Celtics finally get out of the Eastern Conference Finals? How confident are we on that before we go to break here? Is this the year for the Boston Celtics to finally, was it 1, 2, 3? Possibly 4 years in a row?
I don't know, because if the Knicks are scary, they don't care what it is. They'll fight tooth and nail to get that. The city's behind them.
Mm-hmm.
They got 3 players that played in college together that won national championships. So the confidence is there, and that's hard to stop and beat. If they don't get it, it's going to be some problems. But the Knicks, I most certainly think will be a problem for Boston if they get there.
Yeah. I think in terms of just how they match up, that team seems athletic enough to keep up with some of the depth. It's just the depth of the Celtics. That's what makes them so terrifying, is they just got guys on guys on top of their incredible starting lineup, which Porzingis, if they obviously, I think he should be back. Maybe it takes a few games in this next series, whether it's the Cavaliers or Magic, but I imagine Porzingis will be back in action. Mm-hmm. And then again, that is just an incredibly loaded roster. We got one from the text line. Let's see, from our guy Bryce. I'm going to assume that Bryce is a Knicks fan, because he chimes in, man, Embiid gets the benefit of the doubt again, which, fair. Embiid does get that action a lot, but he's Team USA now, so I got to support for Joel Embiid because he chose the right team this year. With that being said, we'll throw it to break. This is the Don't Punt Hour. We got the host, as always, Demornay Pierson-El streaming in. Harrison Arn's on the 1s and 2s. Don't go anywhere. We got a couple more segments on the other side.
There are over 1,000 kids in Cedars care today. We're here to ensure that each of them receives safety and stability they deserve. But we need your help. A gift to Cedars will make an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day, your gift goes even further with the available matching funds. I'm Jim Blue, president of the Cedars organization, and I'm asking you to go to givetolincolnday.com to make your gift to Cedars and support Lincoln kids today.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of showers and storms this morning, then partly sunny and breezy. See high around 71. Tonight, mainly clear skies with a low around 43. And tomorrow, mainly sunny skies, but a chance of showers and storms arriving late in the day. See high around 71. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up.
Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
High schoolers, unleash your creativity and learn about potential careers in broadcasting at the Digital Expressions Media Camp. Have fun, make friends, and get hands-on experience with video and radio production June 9th through the 14th at the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Scholarships are available from the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and spots are limited. Learn more at digitalexpressionscamp.com. That's digitalexpressionscamp.com.
Ironhide Construction is a Nebraska-based general contracting and steel construction firm. Their expert team is experienced in building innovative construction solutions across several industries. While they were previously known for their extensive experience in steel erection and metal buildings, they've continued to evolve over the last several years into a full-service general contracting firm. They take pride in their commitment to quality, cutting-edge technology, and having a passion for what they do. For more information about their services or to discuss an upcoming project, visit www.ironhideconstruction.com or call 402-420-4961.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppel Chevrolet GMC, and our annual spring sales event is now underway. We have absolutely huge savings right now at Coppel. New Sierras and new Silverados have a double whammy. Choose from APR starting at 1.9% or discounts over $9,000. Yes, that's right, 1.9% APR or discounts of over $9,000. So please take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street just south of the interstate, or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador, online at prg-ne.com.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through May 7th is buy one, get one free on New York strips, limit 4 per visit. Also $1 off all brands of honey. And don't forget about lunch on Fired Up Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Locations at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
The Omaha Supernovas are back in action this Saturday, May 4th versus the Columbus Fury at Nationwide Arena in Columbus. The Mullen Motors pregame show with Derek Pearson and Renee Saunders starts at 5 p.m. with first serve at 6. Make sure to tune in to the next Ag Appraisal and Realty postgame show right after the match ends. Catch all the action on your flagship station, 93.7 The Ticket, and statewide on the Supernovas Radio Network.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Des Moines Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back into the Don't Punt Hour. Once again, Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. And we got Des Moines Pierson-El, the host, as always, streaming in. If you guys ever want to join in, we're on the FM airwaves. No Royals tonight. 402-464-5685. You can always put a text in through that way. And again, if you want to put a face to the voice, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo Channel 961. Always available for you guys that want to join in. And you can comment through there as well. We got to talk about a few things house cleaning wise, and then we'll get to some NFL football. For Nebraska ball fans, Rink Mast will be out for the next upcoming season. That's a tough pill to swallow. The 24-25 season, he will be as Mornay Pierson. Good thing I'm mentioning it. Looks like caught your eyes a little bit. He will be undergoing surgery. He's not leaving, but he had some knee problems, undergoing surgery, so he's going to be out for that entire season, most likely.
You getting a knee replacement?
Let me double check here and get his exact injury, but it must have been bothering him for a while. And he left a
Puts
note
him
out.
for a whole year?
I think so, yes.
My goodness.
So it is one of those things where we talked about size a lot for Nebraska basketball and how much it was needed. So to lose a guy like Rink Mast, who honestly took a lot of those playmaking roles over as well. And that's the part that I think is going to hurt the most. As I'm trying to figure out, he's going to go knee surgery and miss all of next season. So kind of surprised. Didn't know it was even that bad for Rink Mast. So that one kind of came as a shocker. It's tough. Luckily, as talked about, we got that 7'1" transfer the other day that's going to certainly help us out near the rim. But yeah, that's a tough loss for Nebraska ball. But he is going to keep that year of eligibility. So next year, if he wants to come back, he's going to have a year to be able to do so. Another news, the Suns GM had a quote saying 26 of the other GMs, and they would swap entire rosters in picks. We're in a great situation. The ship's not sinking. Everybody would trade with us. They have Kevin Durant guaranteed at least $153 million. Bradley Beal guaranteed at least $150 million. Devin Booker guaranteed at least $258 million. What are you talking about, man?
I'm in the wrong sport. My God.
You definitely. Well, I mean, it depends where you're at. I will say the CTE boys get you. Wide receiver, special teams, I don't know. Maybe it works out for you. But yeah, just that's guaranteed.
Bradley Beal getting 150 M's?
That's guaranteed money, yes. $150 million guaranteed.
Somebody need to go find the GM. He out in the desert lost.
Yeah. So his contract, Bradley Beal's contract, goes all the way to 26-27 year. Devin Booker's all the way to 27-28. Kevin Durant next year, it expires that 2 years from now, that 25-26 season. So again, like him talking about, like, I get it, the pieces you have underneath it, the Grayson Allens, the Eric Gordon, you can move those guys around, but you're going to have to figure out how to offload all that guaranteed money, and you just got swept. It's not like you did yourself a lot of favors on people eager to bite and make those moves. Maybe with their picks, he's talking like they're sitting on a mountain of picks too, which I don't understand. That you're not. I don't believe at all that 26 GMs in the NBA would swap picks and roster in a heartbeat.
He's saving face. He trying to make himself believe it.
Yeah, I'm glad we agree on that, because I thought that was like incredible that he was saying that. Let's go through some other news here. Let's start getting into the NFL. This one intrigued me because I know you like Justin Fields. What do you think with the new kickoff?
Absolutely not.
You don't even like it. You still think the injury risk is that why injury risk too high?
That's not his job. Like, he don't do that. You got running backs that, your second and third running back can get back there and do a better job than him. And if I'm not mistaken, what's the running back? Warren?
Mm-hmm.
Warren, and they got a receiver. I think the receiver is Austin. Both of those two are like, return type guys. Like, you putting a quarterback that, one's not used to those type of hits, two that's not used to, understanding, can he do it? Probably, because he's an athlete, but not understanding of that. And you just traded him for that, and you just want to throw him back for that? Like, no, that makes no sense at all.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea.
What happens if Russell get hurt early in the season or the first game or something like that, and your second string get hurt, knocked out on kickoff? Then what? You really in a pinch? That don't make no sense. Like, stop that.
Well, it's like, if they actually go that route, it makes me just have in my head that they're not serious about really playing Fields at that quarterback position anytime soon. If they put him in that special teams, it's crazy. I have to bring it up because the Steelers talking about, the special teams coach is talking about it. So it's like,
a man can want and dream. That don't mean he gonna get it.
Fair enough.
They could want the number one overall pick in the next year draft and not get it. Like, he can want to do that, and surely Mike Tomlin will not let that go. So I seen that, and I'm like, I don't believe that for a quick second.
Okay, fair. I am curious though. We haven't spent a ton of time on the special teams. How much do you think this brings to offense in terms of this new kickoff? Are we going to be seeing explosive runs just all the time now in terms of these kickoffs? Because again, it feels like you get a few good blocks, you find the seam, you're gone. The way it's going to be set up here.
I have mixed feelings about it.
I'm not a fan, just straight out.
Because I think it might hurt the return guys. They can put somebody back there, like I said, your second running back. He's not really a return guy. He doesn't have to be. Look, find the whole Pickett. So I think that takes away from the undrafted guys or the last guys on the the roster to kind of find spots. Secondly, it does the same thing with the return unit, the blocking unit and whatnot, because you had to be athletic. It was a skill to do certain things, and you kind of taking that out. So now you just kind of being not now you're just being like a dummy bag, like you just you move left and right, so they're making it not really athletic, and you're not making it somebody that might be good at that. So I think some people might lose out on a lot of jobs just because of organizations trying to save money. Well, just tell them to put somebody out there. Just get so and so out there or whatever. It's just one play. So I think it'll end up hurting stuff. Will you see returns? I don't think so. I mean, you might here and there in the XFL. How many kickoff returns have they had that score?
It's a great question. That's actually great. Let's see what that looks
like. The only one that I know of is that the Battlehawks did it against the New York team in 2020. That's the only one. That's the only kickoff return that I've seen. I think they might have had one this year. But other than that, I mean, they're saying it's safer and whatnot. Like, okay, I understand, not the head injuries and whatnot. And if it's all about being safe, then change the fields.
Yeah, we've had this discussion before. Okay,
y'all changing everything, but stuff that might cost you, a little bit more money.
Okay, so here's some stats. This is from Forbes. So for reference, 97% of XFL kickoffs were returned in 2023, 4.4 times the NFL rate of 21%. The 2023 NFL season saw only 4 kickoffs returned for a touchdown, the fewest in 30 years. Let's see. I'm trying to get an actual XFL number. Here we go. Okay. NFL had 4 kickoff return touchdowns compared to the XFL's. Take a guess. 1. So not a big sample size there, but 1 to 4. The NFL kickoff actually got more. Maybe this is getting blown up a little more than I thought. I will be curious. I will say, though, this is definitely just all catered to offense, feels like.
Yeah.
Like you get more play. It's not about players.
Now will returns probably get past, the 25 or whatnot? Yeah. But does that, drastically change the game? I don't think so. Because, if the kicker kicks the ball close to the sideline and you have 1 foot inbounds and 1 foot out of bounds, you automatically move to the 40.
Yeah.
If you get a touchback. So, I mean, if you play the statistical games and, I get it from a safe standpoint. I don't like it just because I feel like, teams will, if we fair catch this, we'll get the ball at the 35. All right, well, we'll take the 35 instead of at the 20. So I think teams will just put, guys back there and just say, hey, fair catch it. Let's get the offense out there and get things rolling. Or let the ball go over your head and let it go into the end zone, and we'll still, get it at whatever yardage. So I'm not a huge fan of it. I understand the running into people and whatnot. But it's like I said, I think you'll see not too many free agents or people that might have a skill or might be a special teamers make it off of that.
Yeah, and I guess the real thing they're going for here is I'm looking at these numbers is making more sense now. So the return rate, not touchdowns. Touchdowns were the same. 4 for the NFL last year, only 1 for the XFL. The return rate is what they're trying to sell. Just more plays. XFL 22%.
And what happened? Like I said, so the game is about strategy. So what happens if you just fair catch the ball and now you got the ball at the 35 versus maybe getting to the 25 or 30? Like now, don't take the hit. And, we put our offense, save more time, put our offense in a better position. What happens if all the coaches in the NFL say that?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Are they going to move the ball back, 20 more yards and let these kickers show off their leg? Like, so I don't like it.
I get it, what they're trying to do. It's that return rate, that 97%, I think is that lucrative number. I've been on the spiel forever. It's not really about the player safety, at least for me. I'm not inside there. Again, I'm just speculating here. But the lack of just putting real grass, but it looks better on TV if you have turf. What a dumb reason to put players' skills in jeopardy and their career in jeopardy because you want just a slightly better TV presentation when the guys you're paying millions of dollars. That's going to make a big deal on who watches or not. Again, talking about extending it to 18 regular games, everything you talk about just makes it hard to believe that this is about player. It's about more offense. And if you just come out and say that, okay, I can move on. But I don't like the new kickoff rule too much at all. One more bit of news. We got to talk about Najee Harris. They do not pick up his 5th-year option. They only would have had to pay about a little less than $7 million for it. How do you feel about that one?
He's out of there. Maybe I think it was like his first or his second year. Like I would say, were really 2 good years. And
1,000 yard rushing all 3 seasons. I mean, high.
But he's not. He doesn't make their offense go. He hasn't been what he was at Bama in that offense in any capacity.
Mm-hmm.
He looks slower. He looks heavier. Not as explosive. His side to side lateral movement, isn't the greatest. They drafted, guys. I think each year he's been in there, and the guys that they drafted behind him have gotten, good quality playing time. So I mean, that's just telling them, it is what it is, and get us through one more year, and they'll draft somebody or pick up, a free agent, a high quality back to carry the offense a little better.
Yeah, I'm with you. As much as it sucks, that's just the running backs market. Like you're just not like even though it's not that much money compared to what other guys are getting paid out there. They see $7 million on a running back. They know they can get a guy who's probably just as productive or maybe even more productive on a coin flip.
And I can probably catch out of the backfield more and line up. I told you, everybody wants to go the Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey route. It's a mismatch. That's where offense is moving. It's hard to, cover guys like that. So the downhill running Jerome Bettis type backs, it's not as good unless unless you're Derrick Henry.
Yeah, or Saquon Barkley getting picked up by. There's very few. McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Saquon. Those are about the guys.
Saquon, you can line him outside and he can do that.
Yeah, he's got great hands. Saquon's you're never gonna see Saquon really dropping balls. Like I think he's probably got. I think if I remember, he's got some of the most insane catching numbers out there. Like that guy, if you put it on the money, he's not going to drop the ball for you. So again, that's just the reality of the running back market in the NFL. Even if you're a big fan of Harris, unless you're one of those 3 running backs, who knows if there's a 4th who makes their way into the mix. Ezekiel Elliott back on the Cowboys, which is always there. Dak Prescott, pumped for that one. We'll see if those guys ever get off the treadmill of just constant perpetual playoff appearances and playoff disappearances. But that's the Cowboys story. We'll go ahead and wrap it up here on this segment. We got one more with the Don't Punt Hour. Good morning, Pierson-El, the host as always. Harrison Arns on the 1s and 2s. Like I said, don't go anywhere. We got one more short segment on the other side.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Women may be complicated, but I make sure buying jewelry isn't. Your gal has a style, and you can figure this out. Is she more of a classic necklace kind of gal, or does she rock the boho chic vibe with layers of delicate bracelets? This is crucial intel. Not trusting your intel? Stop in the store and we'll sort out the details. I promise to make this super easy. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
$100 a month. Binge drinking is the most common form of excessive drinking, which costs the United States more than $191 billion each year. By drinking less, you will save $300 a month. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com. Your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of your liberty and pursuit of your justice for those that have been injured. My name is Seth Morris, attorney with Liberty Law Group. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, call 877-42-LIBERTY. Our relentless trial attorneys are committed to the highest quality legal representation. At Liberty Law Group, we will fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Again, that's 877-42-LIBERTY.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Tune in every Wednesday night from 9 to 10 p.m. for the Malone Radio Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Don't miss the opportunity to learn about the Malone Community Center's goal to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln and the surrounding area. It's the Malone Radio Show with Executive Director John Goodwin and Sports Director Mike Hunter every Wednesday night from 9 to 10 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket. RC's Boxing Production is proud to present the new prospects at the Complex. Come enjoy a show of Lincoln's best professional and amateur boxers on Saturday, May 25th at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. Doors open at 6 p.m. with first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the boxers and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com. You won't want to miss this event. It's the new prospects at the Complex on Saturday, May 25th at 1555 Yolanda Avenue, right off of Cornhusker Highway.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
It's, hey, he looked as advertised. He looked really good in the spring game. And because of that, we're going back to a bowl game this year, is what Husker fans are telling them. So I think the fans have a more realistic perspective. And I think this coaching staff has done a really good job of handling Dylan Raiola and the expectations around him.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in. Final segment of the Don't Punt Hour here with the host, as always, DeMornay Pierson-El, streaming in on a little bit more news. I want to get out there to be improper to not give this guy his flowers. Shout out to Jackson Brockett, the former Elkhorn South pitcher. Throws the first 9-inning no-hitter since 1954. So, again, it's a long time. Feels like it hasn't been that long, but 1954, that's crazy to think. So, especially coming from a guy from Nebraska, Elkhorn South, shout out. Jax or Jackson Brockett, if you want to go by his nickname or his full name, first 9-inning no-hitter since 1954. Had to get that out of the way because the guy definitely deserves his flowers at his 8-0 win over Kansas State. We got one more subject I want to talk to you about. I don't know if we have enough time to expand, but we can at least get somewhat of an idea. A lot of talk in the air about Marvin Harrison Jr. still hasn't signed his NFLPA licensing agreement. As a result, the Cardinals aren't able to sell jerseys. Personally, I don't think he is required to at all. I don't know why there should be frustration about it. I think he's free to do what he wants. But I'm curious, when it comes to the NFLPA, I've heard stories in the past that wasn't great, and it seems like they are doing things to kind of fix it, make it better. How do you feel about this with Marvin Harrison Jr., and is this anybody's business even to really have any?
I mean, they're getting on him because
well, they want to make money.
Exactly. So I mean, it's probably he wants more of a percentage from it or something like that, and he's not budging, and they can't make money or do anything about that. As good for him for putting his foot down and making some things different from just going with the flow and doing things and whatnot. People expect you to do stuff, and just because you don't know or you're oblivious to it, or they kind of think you're not smart enough to understand what's going on or whatnot. But I mean, he has a Hall of Fame All-Pro father who probably then gave him insights on some other stuff to get things changed and switched up. So I mean, good for him. Like I said, it'll come out why he hasn't or whatnot. I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, it's not anything terrible. Because his jersey can't get sold. Well, all right, well that's terrible for the fans. It's not And for the jersey sales, he gets a percentage of it. So I'm pretty sure he's probably trying to get a higher percentage. Probably is what I would assume. I don't know for sure. That's just me on the outside looking in.
Yeah, I'm again speculating. I'm glad you're not zagging on me because I agree. It's insane to me that people get upset over it. Like the NFLPA has not proved to been this golden boy of an example.
No, they've gotten better, but oh my God, it's. You just seen Roger Goodell probably talking about the 18 games and 2 preseasons. Like, are you kidding me? Even when you went to 17, you could have upped it. The roster spots to people on practice team and to active roster. That's a lot on people's body. Like, y'all don't care. Y'all just making money. So I don't feel sorry for them. Have they did some things good? Yes, but. Have they missed completely on a lot of things? Absolutely.
That part. Yeah. So again, it's crazy to me. It's like the only people I feel bad for are the fans in Arizona who want to buy the jersey. That's really about it. But sit there. How dare you, Marvin Harrison Jr., and not just accept what the NFL throws at you and just sign the paper?
No,
he's fighting for a better deal. What's the problem with that? And again, you agree with me. I'm glad you do. The NFLPA has not been this golden boy of treating everybody equally and making sure the deals get made in the best manner where both parties receive an equal benefit. The key part, everyone's kind of getting benefits, but the equal part has always been a little bit shifted. It's getting better. I'm not saying that's what the NFLPA looks like today, but it's Marvin Harrison Jr.'s decision that if he wants to be a little bit skeptical or wants to try to get a little bit more out of it, no one has the right to tell him he shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, you should accept what we just give you. No.
Yeah.
I don't accept it, and there's really much. I mean, you're not going to not make sure he signs his contract. So I mean, it's not something that's going to take him from not being on the football field. So honestly, probably the organization probably don't even care.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? I respect it. I mean, he's kind of like, I'm going to be here regardless. You guys know I'm the talent. Ball's in your court. That's kind of where he left it. So I don't hate the move at all. Again, if you're out there and you're hating on it, just do a little bit of digging into the NFLPA. Again, there could be a lot better today. But in the past, there's reasons to be skeptical is the point, especially with his career, his money. It's his decision. We're going to wrap it up here. Shout out to the morning Pierson-El, the host as always, for streaming in. Harrison Earns on the 1s and 2s. We'll keep it rolling here. We got a replay, and then Brewington will join me from 9 to 10 p.m. We'll talk to you guys in a little bit.